The Mario franchise has been around for over 30 years, and within those 30 years, Mario has fought with and against multiple wacky and zany characters. Some of them are very well known to this day. However, others have been locked away in the vault of forgotten Mario characters, but it looks like that vault's been opened up once more. Let's see if we can remember some of these forgotten characters with the top 10 forgotten Mario characters. And if we can't, then we'd probably have to end the video. Oh well, thanks for watching and have a good... When you have a successful game, chances are there's going to be a sequel to that game. Now what would you say the average waiting time between sequels is? 2, maybe 3 years? Well, it took Yoshi's Island over 10 years for a sequel to come out. It was definitely worth the wait though. One of the best new features in the DS sequel was all the babies with their unique powers. Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Peach, Baby Donkey Kong, and even Baby Bowser all made a lasting impression with their unique abilities, so much so that they all starred in other games. I guess the same thing can't be said for Baby Wario. Probably for the best though, since his temper tantrums are so bad that someone left him in a cave after a temper tantrum just to get away from him. Like, his crying is so ear-grating, it'll make you want to listen to Baby Mario's crying on a loop for, I'd say, about 3 to 5 hours. His powers weren't all that special either. It's more interesting to think about how he manages to hold that magnet. Seriously, when you've got baby characters showing up in all sorts of spin-offs and Baby Wario hasn't shown up in a single one of them, it makes you think that maybe Nintendo wants us to forget about him. But we all know that the day that Nintendo stops milking the babies is the day that they release a new F-Zero game. Please? People always complain about clone characters in the Smash Bros. You know, those characters that have the exact same moveset as one another, so they may as well be the same character, right? Well, did you know that Nintendo is also responsible for doing this in their other games as well? Seriously, tell me the difference between Baby Bowser, Bowser Jr., and Koopa Kid. Well, let me save you the trouble and explain it to you. Baby Bowser is the younger version of Bowser from games like Yoshi's Island and Partners in Time. Bowser Jr. is Bowser's illegitimate offspring who appeared in many modern Mario games as a recurring mini-boss, and also by the alias of Shadow Mario in Super Mario Sunshine. And Koopa Kid is... well, I mean, he's on this list for a reason. Like, what even is Koopa Kid? He only appears in the Mario Party games, and sometimes there's one and sometimes there's more, even in a variety of colors. All we know is that he's in cahoots with Bowser and nothing else. Is he an offspring, or a clone, or some minimum wage worker who made a series of bad choices that inevitably led him to the arms of Bowser? I guess we'll never know now, because by the time Mario Party 8 was released, Koopa Kid was nowhere to be seen. Haven't heard any complaints about that since the game came out though, and there were tons of complaints towards Mario Party 8. Speaking of which... What? What even is this thing? You're telling me this wasn't just a dream and that he's actually real? Apparently so. MC Ballyhoo and his co-host Big Top are the owners of the Star Carnival, an apparently annual carnival that we didn't hear about before Mario Party 8. This carnival acts as the menu to choose between game modes, and Ballyhoo acts as the eccentric guy at the beginning of the games who tells you what the rules are. There really isn't much else to say about this guy. The only other thing I can think of is that he kind of started the whole wearing a sentient talking cap thing before Odyssey did, so that's a thing. Other than that, Ballyhoo just went the way of Surge and disappeared for being way too over the top batshit crazy. It's been under the assumption that Princess Peach is actually the ruler of the Mushroom Kingdom, seeing as we never see her real parents. Well, viewers, you're wrong. The kingdom is actually split into 7 different parts, each ruled by a king. What are these kings' names? Who knows? Who cares? The game never told us. They're just referred to as the kings. They just showed up in Super Mario Bros. 3, and retro, they've been transformed by the Koopalings into various monsters and animals. It's up to Mario to steal their magic wands and turn them back into their normal, non-descriptive selves. They thank you, and you never see them again. The only real description that we have of them is the part of the kingdom that they rule. What I want to know is which one is Peach's dad, because if none of them are, I have some serious questions as to who set up this monarchist system. Aliens. They're out there somewhere in this crazy universe of ours, and NASA or Area 51 or the CIA or whoever's in charge of Alien Division of the United States have devoted their lives to discovering the existence of these extraterrestrial beings in order to make contact with them and further expand the knowledge of life and the universe as we know it. Well, someone should go tell them that they missed their window back in the early 90s because that's when Tatanga arrived on the scene in Super Mario Land. In a change of both pace and scenery for the series, seeing how the game took place on a handheld for the first time instead of a console, Mario was tasked with rescuing Princess Daisy, ruler of Sarasasasasasassaland, from the evil alien Tatanga, who I guess planned on marrying her or something. It really was never fleshed out what his plans were. But what we do know is that Mario apparently lived a past life as a World War I flying ace, because he takes down Tatanga in an airship of his own. Man, forget saving Daisy. Give us a game about Mario going to flight school or have him hang out with Goose from Top Gun. Wait, where was I? Oh yeah, Tatanga later appears in the sequel, but surprisingly not as the main boss, instead as a sub-boss. Unfortunately, it is no longer an air battle, which does take away some of the tension. On the plus side, the battle takes place in space! Looks like Tatanga can't breathe in space though, because after Mario destroys his ship, he's sent hurtling through space and we never see him again. Some say if you look into the night sky and you see a shooting star, that's actually Tatanga, still orbiting the planet to this day. Quick! Get me the line to NASA! They're never gonna believe this! It's almost inevitable that a new Smash game is coming to the Switch, and when it does, you can bet my bottom dollar that the first thing we're gonna hear is, "Let Geno join the game! Let Geno join the game!" Don't get me wrong, I like Geno, and I wouldn't have a problem with this if it was a small group of people. But it seems like everyone who's played Super Mario RPG and their grandmothers really want Geno in this game. Hell, even people who haven't played the game know of Geno through his now meme status phenomena. It's kind of ruined the whole forgotten status if everyone wants him back. Now, someone I feel really deserves a comeback is Boshi. I mean, we've got an alternate version of Mario and Luigi in the form of Wario and Waluigi, so why not have one in the form of Yoshi? He's the definition of the word extreme. I mean, he's got fangs, a spiked collar, clawed feet, he's even got sharper external bone things. What even are those? I never really knew. And the package comes complete with a pair of cool guy sunglasses. And he's so fast! Look at him move! Don't blink or you'll miss it! Okay, maybe all the Yoshis in the game are slow, but you don't need to be the fastest if you're the coolest. Not to mention, if he can outrun all the other Yoshis, he'll be fine if a predator attacks the clan. He's cool, fast, and built to last. Say yes to Boshi 2018. If you witnessed the 2017 E3 presentation at the Nintendo store in New York City, then you'd know that people lost their collective minds over two things. A 45-second clip of a video with the number 4 in it and the Super Mario Odyssey trailer, specifically the capture reveal, specifically the human capture reveal. Not only were people excited to take over humans and force them to do crazy things in this game, which, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, but you really can't do that, but they were just excited for humans in general. Mario had never interacted with actual humans in his games before. This was a first for the franchise that raised the question whether or not Mario was actually human. Well, it didn't really matter because for the first time we could actually interact with humans in a Mario game. Oh wait, no it's not. Because the sports games exist. That's right, in some of the sports games, especially the tennis and golf ones, you can actually play as human characters. And I don't mean Mario human. I mean full-on human children, with normal lives that don't revolve around saving princesses from an evil turtle, but actually going to school, and doing your homework, and donating to charity, and all that other stuff. It was actually an ingenious move by Nintendo, kind of a way to integrate Mario into our everyday lives, and make him more relatable. But that's stupid. Why would I want to play as a kid who probably can't even tie his shoes or ask where the bathroom is in another language, when I can play as a plumber who gets big from mushrooms and rescues attractive ladies from their kidnappers? I don't want to be a kid who has to eat his vegetables. I want to be a hero who eats his vegetables. The point is that number 4 goes to all the human characters in various Mario sports games, whoever they are. Jeez, Peach, you can sometimes be so ungrateful. Mario saved you how many times now, and you still haven't baked him that cake? Like, what's the point of rescuing you if there's no cake at the end? And I ain't talking one of those cheap store-bought vanilla cakes you buy at the local market. I mean a full-on chocolate cake. And maybe dumplings for Luigi, cause, I don't know, he helped or something. And then the one time Mario and Luigi get kidnapped in Super Princess Peach and it's up to you to rescue them. And you get that magical talking umbrella named Perry, and then you save Mario, and you push Luigi out of the way like some common folk like he's nothing? You called him the Green Man, like what the fuck, Peach? Oh sure, you can rescue Mario with no problem at all, but why do you need him to save you from Bowser every single week? And you didn't even thank Perry after all the work he did, and you just used him like a baseball bat at the end of a game to knock Bowser away. He's a pretty heavy dude, Peach. That probably hurt your umbrella friend. Speaking of which, where is Perry? Did you lock him away along with the Flood and Penguin suit? Did you cut him into some sort of cute summerwear? Or did you just straight up throw him out? Dang it, Peach. Dang it, Peach! I need answers, you monster! Perry, if you're out there, please come home. Your family misses you greatly and your wife is in labor and you've got like 10 years of mail just piling up at the post office. Super Mario Bros. 2 was all a dream. I'd say spoiler alert, but if you haven't played the game by now, or at least know the story, then you're the one at fault, not us. Anyway, yeah, the entire game turned out to be nothing more than a dream, so all the unique and interesting characters that we met in the game never really got fleshed out as much as we wanted them to, with the exception of Shy Guys and Bob-ombs. Even if every other character was in multiple other Mario games, it wouldn't matter for King Wart, the supposed ruler of this Dreamland, because he dies. By choking. Either way, it's kind of upsetting that we never really get to see Wart after this game, other than a cameo in Zelda. It may not have been such a big deal at the time, but having a final boss that wasn't Bowser in a Mario game was kind of a big deal. And his boss theme was actually really intense, even in its 8-bit form. And the fact that you had to throw vegetables into his mouth to defeat him instead of using jumping in order to get the upper hand against him really was something we hadn't seen before. If you want to witness Wart at his best, play Super Mario Bros. 2 for the NES, or even Super Mario All-Stars Pack for the SNES, it's definitely worth it just for Wart. Just stay away from Super Mario Advance. They gave him a voice and it kind of ruins the entire experience. Oh, you think that Wart was the most forgotten character from Super Mario Bros. 2? At least he was in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you, or more appropriately, reintroduce to you, Imagine, Lena, Mama, and Papa, the original heroes of Super Mario Bros. 2. Confused? Let me explain. You see, the US version of Super Mario Bros. 2 was not actually the real Super Mario Bros. 2, the one that was released in Japan, but instead a reskinned version of the game Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic, with Mario, Peach, Luigi, and Toad replacing Imagine, Lena, Mama, and Papa, respectively. The real Super Mario Bros. 2 was seen as too difficult for American audiences, and they're kind of right, the game is wicked hard, so the reskinned Doki Doki Panic is the game we actually got. To add insult to injury, the only characters not included in the reskinned Mario game were the 4 unsung heroes. Every other boss and villain were included in both games, even Wart, so they made their US debut without the actual heroes of the game they were originally in. To add further salt into the wound, the US version of the game was eventually released in Japan after success in the US, and the US received the actual version of Super Mario Bros. 2 not too long after in the All-Stars pack. So at this point there's no reason to market the original game anymore, since Mario is selling unbelievably more than the original. So Imagine, Lena, Mama, and Papa were never heard from again. Sure, Wart was only in one game, but the 4 unsung heroes never really even saw the light of day, even though they were technically in a Mario game. Special thanks to our Patreon supporters, and a big thanks to Percy Simmons, Homer Manfan, and Stealth Zombie Snake for their generous donations. Papa, papa, paya, pata. Papa, papa, paya, tata. Pana, nana, pada, tata. Papa, papa, pow, papa, papa, pa. Calm down. Nana, 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 nana. Nana, nina, no, no, nana.